Dark Horizon really is a story of redemption.
Dark Horizon, to me, is basically an homage to the films of the past, the action films of the past, the good old days as far as fun filmmaking.
In some aspects, I see it as a love story.
It's a story of family.
But it's an adventure, and it's comedic at times.
It's an adventure movie, yes, but at the heart of it, it's really about family and just doing what's right and going back to right our wrongs and looking at our past. The story of Dark Horizon takes us 60 years into the future, where there are no longer any governments, and people have basically taken to the oceans in order to survive this global holocaust. And the characters that we're following are 3 former pirates who now serve as transporters to various ports of call. And we kind of see how they've had a life of piracy in the past, and we kind of witness how they pick up these stragglers, these survivors, American refugees, and how they're forced to take them back to this lost island where an incident happened years ago that they couldn't avoid. And so we kind of see how their past comes back to haunt them, and they have to return and kind of right their wrongs. And that's basically the premise of the story.
So it's that action adventure that everybody can watch and everybody can understand and follow the story, and whether you are a young child or you're in your 80s, you'll be able to relate to this story and enjoy it.
I think it was great that Matt took this upon himself. It's a film that not many people get into this early on in their career, and very exciting. Just seeing someone like Matt taking this on early on, and just see what he can actually do with it.
Well, to be honest, they're all favorites of mine. But Kyle's character of Jonathan is a fun character. It was a fun character to write because he's, in essence, a rock star. And he's like this young, cocky Han Solo type guy who wants to be in the heart of the adventure. Crystal Cooper plays Rebecca, but she's tough and she has this sense of royalty, but she gets her hands dirty. And I think Crystal plays this character that is very much not afraid to get her hands dirty, not afraid to do what she has to do in order to be reunited with her family. But Slider's a dynamic character because she puts up with so much, and in a way, she's very motherly, and at the same time, she's tough.
We decided to go for more of not really a traditional pirate look, kind of a more modern pirate look, yet you could still tell, it was kind of back into that old 17th, 18th century pirate, and we were literally going to thrift store after thrift store after thrift store, just looking for whatever we could find. Pants to tear, boots, old rugged boots, and it was incredible just to kind of go through that process.
We wanted to make the villain look very villainous, and so the first thing we did was I knew he needed an eye patch to make him the stereotypical pirate villain. But to make it a little bit different, if you look really closely, you can see that it's actually held together by screws into his forehead.
As far as costuming and everything went, it was interesting because my vest was actually from Waterworld.
Lucius's vest is a screen-used prop from the movie Waterworld, which I thought was really funny. And when Sean and I met with Kevin Costner, of course I did not mention that to him. I don't know how he feels about that subject, but it was kind of funny to have that featured in the film.
And everything's kind of tattered, but at the same time you look really bad. Like when I put everything on, I feel bad. Samuel L. Jackson bad.
I called up Mark Ivey, who was the sword choreographer on Pirates of the Caribbean. I got my friend Adam DiCarlo to choreograph the fight, and we called upon Tony Swatton, who's the industry-leading sword maker. And he had made Johnny Depp's blade for the Pirates films. He had made all the swords from Master and Commander. He'd made weapons for like Spider-Man and Star Trek and all these great movies. And he crafted all the blades for our film. So we actually had 2 stunt blades for each of the fighting scenes. So from there, we choreographed the fight down in Laguna. We shot it on the rocks in Laguna Beach, and we actually shot it where Michael Curtiz had shot Captain Blood, the sword fight for Captain Blood, with Errol Flynn and Basil Rathbone. And for me, that was one of the films that really inspired the movie. So it was just really cool to shoot that scene in that exact same location. And I just was standing there the day of the filming, and like the sun was rising. And it was like, oh my gosh, I had like chills, because it was just, you really felt a part of it. And you just felt like, 80 years ago, practically, they had shot that movie. And it was just a really cool experience to be back there, filming that, similar scene.
I was just continually blown away for being what we thought was going to be such a small movie and, have a very small budget, just turned out to be this huge, extraordinary thing.
And being an Indiana Jones fan, being a Star Wars fan, I saw that, and I saw his work. Spielberg's called him the Picasso of movie poster work. And so to see his work on Harry Potter, to see Back to the Future, he's probably the most recognized movie poster artist in the world. So to have him be involved with Dark Horizon, that's an amazing thing for me as a first-time filmmaker, because his work is so recognized. Right now he's working on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And so you go up to his studio, and you're like, there's Blade Runner, the original Hook poster, and you're like, this guy, Frank Darabont, Jim Henson, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, they all go to this guy. You know you're doing something right when you're in his office, and he's like, okay, let's take your picture, this is how we're going to do it.
I would like to see this film be successful. Of course, everybody hopes that it's successful in the box office or that people buy it. But, there's a lot of really meaningful aspects to this movie. And, when you're young, you're really shaped by what you see.
This is going to be exciting for kids or for adults or for anyone, because it's a classic adventure story. There's treasure, there's shipwrecks, there's sword fights. It just has everything.
It's a great script. It's a fun movie. It is. It's just a lot of fun. And to be a part of it and to actually be one of the main characters in this movie is awesome, because it's just been fun. And when you read it, you know that it was going to be fun, so you get excited about it. And, that was basically my first impression when I read it, was this is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited to see how far it can go. It literally has blown away my expectations, and I truly think anything is possible now.
Dark Horizon, coming soon to select theaters. This film is not yet rated. For more information, visit darkhorizonmovie.com.